The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. A young girl and her two dads are on vacation at their cabin in the middle of the woods, and four strangers show up and demand that they make a life-altering decision that could save humanity. I don't want to say much more than that because a lot of the fun of reading this book is watching how things are slowly revealed and how the plot twists as you go along. I will say, I guess this is technically a horror novel, but it doesn't particularly make you afraid of being alone in the woods. It's more like a drama of an absurd situation, and you kind of watch how it plays out. I decided to read this book because M. Night Shyamalan is making a movie out of it that comes out on February 3rd of this year, in a few weeks. So naturally, I'm kind of curious what source material he has to deal with. First of all, I think when you're dealing with books, it's a lot easier to have an ambiguous ending. So I don't think the way the book ends would translate very well into a movie. I think people would feel very cheated. So I'm really curious what he's going to do with the ending. But enough about the movie. The book was a real page turner for me. I had to know what was going to happen next. I read it very quickly. And I've always wondered what it is about some books that made me want to read through it very quickly, and others I'm in no such hurry. I've boiled it down to three things, and this book has all three of those things easily. Number one, a simple premise. You have the family of three in the cabin in the woods, approached by the four people with the absurd proposition. The characters are unique, and it's easy to remember who's who. Number two, good writing. The way he describes the setting, the way he does the dialogue, and the way he gets inside each of the characters as the scene unfolds, it's all very well done. Number three, I don't know what's going to happen next. When I was halfway through this book, I didn't know how it was going to end, and when I was 90% of the way through the book, I still didn't know how it was going to end. It just kept me guessing as things kept happening. There was no element of the story that I could take for granted, so I was curious from the beginning to the end. Ultimately, this was a successful book because I think the point of this book was to grab the reader's attention and force them to read it very quickly. Yet at the same time, I think this was a beach read. You're absorbed into it in the moment. It's like watching something thrilling and exciting, and then when it's over, it's over. I could be wrong about this, but I doubt that I'm going to be coming back to this novel later. I don't think I'll be remembering it among all the other novels that I've read. This is why it's hard for me to hand out a lot of stars to beach reads, because they're forgettable, and I save the high stars for the ones that I remember. I'm going to give this book 3.5 stars.